So a lot of times people are trying to figure out how they're going to set up their run and gun live package. I mean, you run into the case now where you're working with a TVU or a live view, and people are just live everywhere. They're walking down the streets with riots. They're marching in parades. It just doesn't matter. You're not fixed to a big sat truck any longer. That's rare. Those days are very rare. So with that being said, everybody wants everything to be very mobile. They just want to go everywhere. And so you got to provide IFB to do that. For me, I've been doing this a long time this way, and I really don't even give it much thought anymore. But I had a lot of questions leading up to this last election about how I do this, how I approach this fast paced live with IFB, which, by the way, is interruptible foldback, which if you may have seen my previous uh, YouTube on IFB, so I won't go really down that road too much. But what I do is a simple flip phone. Pick it up at Walmart, $40 or so, and a monthly plan is like $35. And if you're doing, for example, if you're on a long format movie for a couple of months, you wouldn't renew it. You would just wait until you're back doing daily stuff in the news world. Tends to be $35 for a month for service, which, by the way, is basically what I charge per day when I'm working live for this device to be used. You can use this technique with any modern day professional system. In this case, right now I'm using the 833, and so I use the 3.5 millimeter returns, which double as channel 7 and 8 inputs in a bag configuration. And basically, you dial it in, you plug it in, and you drop it in the bag, and you are good to go for many, many, many hours. And by the way, you can, USB charge the phone while you go. But I build a headphone preset always with a program audio, which is the IFB feed, in my right ear, so that I can always hear anybody who's trying to interrupt, talking to the talent, talking to the guest, talking to the anchor, whatever the case may be, and constantly know what's going on. Oftentimes, you troubleshoot that way. They may be experiencing a problem in the studio, and they may not be used to a crew that everybody is actually plugged in and wired, and they're talking to the correspondent saying, "Hey, can you ask the cameraman to do this? Can you do?" And I can circumvent all that and just be that extra set of ears to facilitate a smooth shoot. I feed aux 3 and 4 on the 833. Aux 3 is an XLR hanging on the bag. Actually, both of them are. Aux 4 is also hanging on the bag as well. But aux 4 goes into my Electrosonics T4 IFB transmitter, which lives in the bag right here. It allows me to very quickly deploy R1As with high confidence that they're going to have a really good range. And to help facilitate that, I have an SNA 600 Electrosonics antenna in the bottom of this bag, which usually doesn't have to come out, but every once in a while, if I really got a crazy thing where a correspondent or somebody is really pushing the extreme on range, I can deploy the SNA 600 antenna and improve the distance that the T4 will give me. The aux 3, as I was starting to say, is a XLR hanging on the bag. I quickly plug into that, and I deploy hardwire IFBs. Remember, if you don't have to be wireless, don't. If you need to be wireless, excellent. But that's really kind of the point. The point is to have everything as streamlined as possible, as fast as possible, and just be able to move. Wherever I go, I am the walking transmission. And it doesn't matter. As long as I have cell service, we're hot.